We're live on YouTube. Okay, awesome. We live on Twitch. Awesome. Haha. Awesome. Awesome. Why is it not showing on YouTube though? I want to trust that I am live on YouTube. Actually, hold up. Let me pull this up so I can actually see. It's not showing that I'm live. But yo, if I am, yo, hello people, Seku-Senpai here. We're back for some more Witch on the Holy Night. I think I'm live. I believe I am live. I think I'm all set. I think. Let me pull this up. Let me see. Let me see if everything looks good. Awesome. Okay, so I am live. That is some awesome sauce. Okay. Awesome sauce. Ooh. I ain't never used that phrase in my life. Okay, that's good. Okay, everything's looking all right. Brewery's a little unstable right now, but it looks like it's good there. I look okay here too, so I'm gonna go on the fact that everything's good. But anyways, we're back for some more Witch on the Holy Night. I know last time we got to meet Aoka. Well, Aozaki. Actually, I kind of knew about them before, just from looking up Nasuverse stuff. So yeah, I knew about them. We also got to meet Alice, which is actually interesting about Alice's character because I remember when I was looking up stuff on the game, or even just looking at promo art, like mainly and stuff. I actually didn't think that she was actually gonna be like friends with Aozaki. I thought they were just like, I thought they were gonna be enemies, but I mean, maybe they might turn to enemies. I don't think so. I think they're friends throughout this. So that's interesting to me. What else was there? We gotta meet that dude Suyama. I gotta see his name. And yeah, what else is there? Both of them are doing something in the park, some like experiments or something. And I think there's something else going on. I can't remember something else. Something bad's about to happen. Or something secret's going on. I don't know. Anyways, let's see what goes on today. As I slightly recap myself. Yeah, we're going to the next episode. So today we're going to do all of chapter 2. If they have like extra stuff, like bonus stuff, I'll probably do it on another stream since I didn't know that. Last time I did not know that bonus stuff was long as heck. It was fun, but I was like, oh man, it's probably like 30 minutes. No, that was another 2 hours. But yeah, I'll probably do that if it's, I'll see how I'm feeling. I'll see how I'm feeling. But yo, Maradi, yo, welcome. Hello. I am doing well today, actually. It's actually today's been a great day. It's been a great day. Went to the city, had some business to take care of, came home, recorded some stuff for Patreon, edited some other stuff, recorded some Fate, Grand Order. Now I'm about to stream. Ate some nice food before this. Yo, I'm in a good mood. Today's been a good day, actually. a good Monday at that. So hopefully everyone else is having a great month, or at least a good start to the week. Let me not say great, but at least a good. At least. Hopefully it's great or fantastic. Oh. What did that say? I was thinking it said Witch on the Holy Night. Okay. Little happenings of last night. Ooh. Oh yeah, I have to click that. Once you get the hang of it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm hyped for some more Witch of the Holy Night. Oh, Sojiro, that's his name. Sojiro. Sighed listlessly. Oh, let me take down the thing so it's not taking up the whole screen. Let me put that down. What's we got? Sojiro sighed listlessly. OC, nice. Okay. He looked down at the winter schoolyard below, lost in thought. December was written on the corner of the chalkboard. He could not believe 10 days had already passed since he transferred to school. Okay. The last vestiges of autumn had faded with the change of the month. The trees were all but barren, and the ground below them a mat of fallen leaves. Fourth period was classics. An elderly teacher stood at the lecture and rambled on. When they had finally gotten used to the classroom, he had still a long way to go to get up to speed in his classes. Yeah, that must, going like transferring in the middle of the school year, you have to adjust, man. That can't be easy. I'm lacking even the basic understanding most students learn in their early scholastic life. It was a battle for Sojiro to keep up. Even if he was unable to grasp all the content right away, he at least tried to memorize everything and hope that he could make use of it down the road. Okay. Which is why losing himself in his thoughts was about the last thing he should have been doing. He would normally chastise himself for daydreaming, but not today. Something caught his eye? Troubling, he was unable to concentrate in class today. Who's he watching outside? Sojiro could not place the source of his lack of concentration. It could not have been the winter in the city. It was much milder than in the mountains. Neither was his part-time job particularly tiring. He was not any more physically fatigued than the average student, so that could not be it either. Others might conclude that it was because the courses were boring, but that seemed off the mark too. Sojiro did not share his classmates' opinions about their classes. On the contrary, he rather enjoyed his class time. No, his frame of mind was not to blame either. Trying to figure out what was wrong only made him more depressed. He scolded himself and turned his attention to the chalkboard. The rhythmic ticks of the chalk were sending him into a slumber, but he somehow managed to resist their lullaby. It's crazy. I have not seen like a chalkboard in a classroom in a hot minute. They use like whiteboards now, and do they even use whiteboards still? Are whiteboards still like relevant? I remember in college they used a bunch of like projectors and stuff, and like the thingy with the pen that you could do. Man, crazy how things change over time. But and yet he was unable to focus on the class. Sojiro reflected silently, as was his custom, and sighed inwardly. Deep down, he knew the real source of his agitation. The events of the previous night were the only thing it could be. Oh, the previous night. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's been a long time, right? Man, chalkboard's becoming an urban legend. But yeah, they be kind of noisy, especially when they be screeching. Oh man, I hated that. But with the chimes to signal the end of class, the teacher bowed and exited into the hallway. Okay, so something happened the previous night. To see him off, the 30 or so students all stood up from their desks. The clock, which had seemed to slow dramatically around half past 11, now struck noon. Oh yeah, that's the homie, his friend. The tension seemed to fade from the room all at once. The release from a difficult lesson was the start of lunchtime, the highlight of school life. 100%, man. I enjoyed my lunch. Misaki High's cafeteria was not particularly known for its quality food. Complaints, oh man, so it's bad school lunch, okay. Complaints that the quality was below that of a private school went unheeded. And the same unique flavors appeared on the menu each and every day. Private school prices coupled with subpar quality led to the majority of students to opt for boxed lunches instead. Smart move. Sojiro's class 2 was no exception. The boys muscled as many as 10 desks into what resembled a long dining table. Conversely, the girls divided themselves into small tables of 2 or 3 desks with practiced ease and started chatting with their unique cliques. Not a single student wasted even a second of their precious lunchtime. Yo, 100%, yo, that'd be me. Where both sides differed in method, they shared a common goal. Enjoy your break. Sojiro was struck dumb by the efficiency of the transformation. Even after 10 days, he was unable to keep pace with the rest of the class and remained seated where he had sat during the previous period. The voice came from a large makeshift dining table near the window. Hosuke Kinomi, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Kinomi, that's his name. I always forget his name. Was beckoning him while leaning back in his chair in a way that looked like he could fall backward at any second. He was regularly shot down by the others of the class for being lazy and crass, but his earnest nature kept him from getting on anyone's bad side. Okay, I mean, you can't be someone who's earnest. Though something could be said for not being so forthcoming all the time too.
俺さ、昨日店の残り物もらいすぎたんだよ。春巻きだよ、春巻き。それを見た親父がさ、もらったもんは残すなってうるさくてさ。
Do not want to waste some food. Oh, my bad. His name's Kinomi, right? It's not Hinomi. I want to say Hinomi for some reason. It seemed his endgame was to find someone who might take pity on him and trade him for something better. The two of them worked at the same restaurant, so he was one of the few people Sojiro knew before starting school. It was also the reason Sojiro was able to learn the true meaning of the phrase, can't live with them, can't live without him.
Oh, いいな。しずきも来いよ。今日は待ちに待った缶詰祭りをすっからさ。
Natsuverse in general? I would say I am. I would say I am. A growing fan, if anything. Yeah, I'd say I'm a growing fan of it, definitely. I feel like in the past couple months I've been. I want to say that in the past couple months I've definitely been getting more intrigued with it, if anything. I mean, it's always fascinated me with like how everything, like how certain things connect and like the backgrounds to some characters and everything. But yeah, definitely in the past couple months I've definitely been more invested in it, if anything. Growing into a bigger fan of it, if anything. So. I need to stop clicking this when they're talking. But because if anything, before I even knew about Witch and the Holy Night or even Tsukihime, the only Type Moon stuff I had exposure to, or even Natsuverse stuff, was Fate, of course. I feel like that's like most people. But yeah. So if Fate go and Fate stay, see exactly, yo, it's like Fate go and Fate stay night. It's just Fate. What was it that I saw that made me want to check out? What was it? There's something I saw online. Yes, I saw the trailer to the new Tsukihime that came out like 2 years ago. Then now having the English come out next year. But I saw the trailer for that. I was like, yo, Tsukihime, that looks sick. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is like the same dude, or the same, like, it's all Type Moon. And I was like, oh, there's other works in Type Moon. And I was like, oh, some things connect, some characters pop up here and there. And that began my journey to present time now. It's always Fate. Actually, I did see a bit of Guardian Sinners a while back too, but I never finished it. I need to do that too. That's another series I want to eventually get back to. Oh yeah, man, I'm so hyped for that. Boys usually pass the time by making fun of each other's lunches, but today they were united against a in the middle of the table. They had all been taken from the pantry of a certain student's house, and the expiration dates on them had all been scribbled out with a marker. Straight from a can? What? Downtown McCoy. I love the expressions they show these characters with having. The boys united as one and hoisted their can openers into the air. Oh, yeah, expired food? Yuck. Quite inexplicably, why am I struggling to say that? Excited group of guys. Inexplicably, man. Their real motivation seemed to be to spread the pain. But moved by their energy at conceding defeat, Sojiro got up from his seat and joined them. And before he could, Oh, Suzuki popular with the ladies? What? Another interested party joined the fray. A girl with short but stylish hair had called out to him. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Expired food, that's nasty. She had also tried to get Sojiro to join the track and field several days. Wow, okay, so she's really trying to. He answered with a troubled look on his face. On the table was nothing but a pile of fruit Sojiro had never seen before. Mangoes, coconuts? Huh. That's an interesting mix. Yubari melon. The members of the fruit group pumped their fists in unison at that last delicacy. I mean, Sojiro, I'm gonna be honest, between the expired canned food or some fruits that you never seen before, I mean... Sojiro couldn't keep track of all the voices flying across the room, and he's stuck in the middle. That being said, he found it difficult to refuse them outright. His tendency to accept others' goodwill at face value occasionally left him frozen with indecision. Yeah, I feel that man, been there. Not accustomed to regular human interaction, he was unable to judge when it was or was not appropriate to turn someone down. Someone tapped and lost. Little lamb on his shoulder. Oh, is this dude? I forget his name. He seems a little sus, low-key, but maybe I could be wrong. He might be on our side. An inappropriately loud voice echoed throughout. I mean, what sides are there? I don't even know yet. But an inappropriately loud voice echoed throughout the classroom from behind him. Sojiro turned around to see a boy about a head taller than him. His long hair, while unkempt, had been brushed back, giving it an appealing, wide, windswept look. His attractive features belied the contempt for the classroom his eyes carried. Yeah, that's what I mean. He seems nice, but I don't know. That's my skeptical side. I'm just so skeptical of people. Oh man, that's true. That's true. I read that as Levi first, but yeah, as long as they don't have that love look, your level over here crazy as heck. Man, I'm looking forward to uploading that finale to Fate Go I had for part Second Singularity. Interesting, but in most cases, such a boy's presence would be met with awe and respect. However, Lev is the epitome of looking sus. Oh, man. But I get, don't judge a book by its cover. I could be wrong about this guy. First Lady Alko. They continued to give him a hard time. Sojiro could not help but that dude. Oh man, Levin's. That class vice president, on the other hand, showed absolutely no reaction whatsoever. He glared at them with a bored look and simply raised his voice. Huh? Hey, he calling them out. Yo, bro came. Okay. The menacing growl of his voice contrasted greatly with the boy's well-constructed looks. Both Team Canned and Team Fruit's words were doused with a fire being smothered. This was partly due to their fear of the boy, but mostly due to their fear of the Special Winter Cleaning Team. Yes, the Special Winter Cleaning Team. Joining meant spending part of your winter break cleaning up the old school building and mountainous rear courtyard. The mountainous rear courtyard that had been neglected by the previous two student councils. Dang. It was a form of legalized torture that could potentially ruin 3 whole days of your winter break. And forget about any compensation in the form of extra credits. Dang. I mean, no, it was pointless volunteer work for a student council project. It was practically a miracle that they had found even a single volunteer. Would I volunteer? Probably not, to be honest. Maybe I might join for like an hour. I'll be like, yeah, I could help, but for like an hour, you know. I got other stuff to do, you know. all of the students but one scuffled away. I feel that. I don't want to do that. Go back down. Okay. Wait, I could just do that with that. So what is... Oh, so the left one doesn't do anything. Okay. The mob meekly scurried away. Sojiro returned to join them, but as he did, he tried... Sojiro, man, you tried, man. But he defended you. He helped you out. But... at what cost? The hand on his shoulder held him in place. Jeez, who does the student council think they are? Huh. Kinomi... Yeah, Kinomi cursed... I swear, I just have... In my mind, he's stuck as Kinomi for some reason. Okay, Kinomi cursed him under his breath to his friends the second the vice president turned to go.
Huh?
Kinomi, sometimes the best thing to do is not say anything. The vice president must have heard everything Kinomi said, because he gave a thumbs up before figuratively jabbing it in the eye.
Huh?
He is?
He
says that with a smile. The problem child of Class C laughed merrily. Yeah, man, it's Aozaki's wrath, not his. Kinomi's terrified shrieking continued behind them as the vice president and Sojiro left the classroom. Kinomi. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. There we go. he was cooking him. Oh, man. The new Kinomi's changed up, man. Oh, is this? Oh, the two entered the empty student council room. Oh, dang, this room is packed with stuff. Misaki High's student council had the use of 2 rooms. Okay. One was the large office specifically made for the student council. The second was an archive room, once used as a preparatory office for math courses. Okay, that's cool. As the latter of the two, the walls were aligned with densely packed shelves, making an entirely cramped room seem even more confined. Oh, man. For this reason, it served more as a private refuge to the student council. The two students sat across from one another. Tobimaru Tsukiji. He was the son of the chairman of Misaki High School and vice president of its school council. Ah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I see. Okay. Like Sojiro, he was in his second year, and second year, and first met the transfer student at a week earlier when the task of looking for him was dumped onto the student council. Week earlier. Oh, okay. The president's dog. The self-deprecating of his words were, he hardly seemed dissatisfied with the arrangement. He took a snack from his pocket and grimaced at it before taking a bite. The 100-calorie energy bar sacrificed flavor for efficiency, but somehow not enough to prevent him gnawing on it like a piece of jerky. Sojiro sat in the chair with a concerned look on his face.
Huh? 犬がどうしたって？犬は良くないって言った。例えが違う気がするし、何より怖いぞ、あれ。なんだよ。山奥育ちのくせに。
Yo, in the mountains, he probably had to deal with wolves, not your typical domestic pet dog. Like.
そりゃ大抵の生き物は怖いけど、犬は別格だ。徒党を組んだ野犬ほど始末に負えないものはない。
He ain't lying about that, man.
足の速さも脅威だけど、何より執念深すぎる。坂だろうと追いかけてくるし、最後の一匹になるまで引かないんだぞ。
Sojiro opened his lunch as he spoke. Inside the bright green cloth, 3 beautifully made triangle rice balls.
ショックだ。ショックって何が？そんなこの世のものとは思えない握り飯を見たのは初めてだ。思わず絶句しちまった。
Oh man, forget about the bears. Those dogs, though. Oh man.
それどっちなんだ？褒めてるんだよ、バカ。
I want some rice balls. Sojiro was always confounded by the phrasing that could be interpreted in multiple ways. Euphemisms and subtle sarcasm were often lost on him. Yep, I got that from even the last part. This is Sojiro. Sarcasm going over his head. It was only on rare occasions like this one that he chose to confirm what was being said. Tobimaru had come to suspect that Sojiro had a very black and white way of seeing things.
ところで、その固まった小麦粉みたいなの、美味しいのか?
Check a flour-looking thing. What is that? Sojiro stared at the energy bar with a curious look on his face. Oh.
まずくはねえが、うまくもねえよ。人間、何事も手間暇惜しむようになっちゃおしまいだぜ。
Yo, Sojiro, Kinome, and this guy, whose name I always forget. Hold up, I could... Settings. What's his name? Tobimaru. Okay, Tobimaru. Let me remember that. Tsukiji. Okay, Tobimaru Tsukiji. It says his name right there. Oh my gosh, I do the most work for no reason. Okay, Tobimaru quickly finished off his bar, put another one on the table, and grabbed one of Sojiro's rice balls. Sojiro failed to notice the rudeness of the forced exchange, and gave the proffered energy bar a try. I have to agree. Tobimaru is warming up to me a bit more. Out of principle, Sojiro labored over his energy bar, cringing all the while. He was both curious of the unknown and loath to leave something unfinished. Yeah, I feel that, man. And Sojiro, I relate to a bit of you, man, with that. Like, I couldn't have leave that energy bar unfinished after he gave it to me. Tobimaru turned his eyes up to the ceiling, unable to handle Sojiro's carefree smile. I was wondering why my mic was like falling over a bit. Okay. As absent-minded as Sojiro might have been, his expressions were nonetheless incredibly earnest. It was like poison to someone as self-absorbed as Tobimaru. Yeah, she's. He took a bite from the rice ball to steer himself away from such thoughts. Though now cold, the rice ball managed to maintain its freshness, startling Tobimaru.
いや待て。気を使ってんのは俺だけじゃねえか。青崎なんてお前が転入した日に彼迷惑だから見張ってて。なんでそこで君が怒るんだ？
Sojiro.
だからだな。お前が学校になれるよう陰ながら見守ってんのは俺で、青崎は生徒会室で全校生徒の弱みを集めてるだけって話だ。
He's the errand boy.
面倒な苦労してんのは俺だけじゃねえかって。
Tobimaru stopped himself, realizing how ridiculous he sounded. Sojiro, rightly so, knew it was nothing to get this upset over.
いいさ。青崎に言いつけられなきゃ。
Tobimaru got his troubles too, man. Oh.
知ってるか？あいつどうして俺にこんな役させたと思う？副会長だからだろ。
I was not expecting that like animated movement right there. I like that. Even though it's like so subtle, like Tobimaru's handsome face went dark.
あのな、どうして副会長が転入生一人にかかりっきりにならなくちゃいけねえんだよ。
Definitely not.
いいぜ。機会があったら青崎本人に聞いてみな。あいつの本性がわかるからよ。
He snatched another bite of the rice ball while grumbling under his breath. There it is again, rice grains that were just dry enough to be fresh, and tender in the mouth a morsel that betrayed his humble description, which must have been delicately molded by a master chef rather than haphazardly clumped into a ball.
そして何よりこの塩加減、中の具から染み出した原料の
perfect
塩加減はどうだ？食欲をそそるどころか。
Was the soldier who put this together? Because bro about to be a pro rice ball maker.
飛び丸、思ってることが口に出てるみたいだけど。あ、いや、それほどのショックだったってわけだ。
Color me surprised.
なあ、その字。これ具はなんだ
？Sonoji? Oh, yo, a little nickname? It was only natural to inquire about the unexpected delicious bite. He had been nibbling around the edges and had not reached the center.
Ah, それはイナゴ。
Yo, Sojo. Yo. The vice president choked on his cough. He had assumed that Sojo would prefer earthly ingredients instead of seafood on account of his mountain life, but he never expected he would use grasshoppers.
くそ、食う前に言えよな。信じられねえぐらいうまいと思っちまったじゃねえか。
Is Sojo, this is your chance to hit you with a punchline saying I was kidding, but okay. it would been if whether you're joking or being serious, it's hilarious nonetheless. Oh man. I locked eyes for a moment. The soldier over here got jokes.
いくらなんでもイナゴはね。おお、そうだよな。いや、安心した。いくらなんでもイナゴはねえよな。
Imagine a soldier lying right now. He's like, dang, I can't let him know the truth. You can't find. Yeah, that's true. Soldier making some good points now. He knows with that logic. As curious as those words were, Tobimaru decided to let them go.
たく、どっちにしても冗談きついぜ。危うく吐き出すところだったじゃねえか。君が青崎の悪口を言うからだ。
Oh, what's this defense coming from? Rams dropped a bit. Okay. Sojiro closed his eyes as he continued to chew on his rice ball. Tobimaru watched incredulously as Sojiro made no attempt to hide his disapproval.
おい、今のはさすがに聞き捨てならねえぞ。俺が青崎の悪口を言ったから意趣返しをしたと、そういうことか？
Oh, Sojiro continued chewing. Who got silent too? Ow. This might hit my heel. The country boy's silent protest said all that needed to be said. The vice president suddenly looked like he had been struck by lightning.
なんてこった。お前、まさか青崎に惚れてんのか？そうなのか？そうなんだな。おい、眠ってねえで起きろ。
Tobimura flew out of his chair and violently shook Sojiro by the shoulders. Sojiro opened his eyes. Does he?
そうか。お前は1年前の惨劇を知らないんだな。
Hey, he never answered yet.
知ってりゃ、そんなストレートな破滅願望を持つこともなかったろうに。
君の言葉には誤解が含まれてるけど、それは後にする。
Oh, yeah. What happened a year ago? This was that backstory, man. What, someone confessed and got beaten up? Or let down, rejected terribly? Tobimura regained his composure and sat down after a moment's thought.
仕方ねえ。この手の噂をするのは好きじゃねえんだけどな。
Tobimura reassured himself that it was in Sojiro's best interest as a young man to know. Oh, as a young man. Oh, okay.
あれは青崎がまだ1年の頃の話だ。あの頃はみんな入学したばっかりで、青崎がどんな性格か誰も知らなかった。
Yeah, makes sense.
外見は文句なしに美人だからな。そりゃ男どもは狂気乱舞したもんさ。
Little did they know that soon after they would go crazy for an entirely different reason.
4月5月はもう上を下への大騒ぎだよ。あの時ばかりは上級生も下級生もなかったな。野郎同士の牽制、共闘、果ては決闘まで。まあよくも騒いだもんさ。
なんでそんなよくわからない事態になるんだ？
そりゃ青崎は一人きり。命知らずな野郎は延べ100人。
It was a war. A battle in the classroom.
青崎とランチしても3ヶ月かかるだろ。だからまずは男同士でつまんねえ暗闘があったのさ。
That's crazy.
まあいい。わからねえならそこはどうぞ。所詮負け犬どもの話だしな。
Oh, yeah, what's the juicy part? What happened?
そんなどうでもいい戦いを勝ち残った奴らは列なしで1年の女に言い寄ったわけだ。
Yo, they go through this whole battle against everyone else just to get shot down.
あれでなんていうか相手のなけなしの誠意じゃなくてあれか勇気。
Oh.
そういうのを無視できずに。
Okay. I expected her not to be like that, but yeah, I like that twist.
丁寧に断ってた。が中にはそれで勘違いしちまうやつもいたよ。
Oh man, of course, there's always.
3年のある野郎がこれは脈ありと見て青崎
Man, read the room, catch the signs.
多分そい
He
つ
was a
が
little bit
頭がお
nuts.
かしかったんだ。今にして思うとそうとしか
A little bit nuts? I don't know, man. He's a creep. Incidentally, Tobimura decided to gloss over the fact that this student was also the former student council president. What? Oh boy.
学園ばかりか。青崎の
See, I knew this dude was a creep over here. Following her home?
青崎も堪忍袋の尾が切れたんだ
Stalker, man.
ちょっと口にするのははばかられる方法で振ったんだ。
At this point, he's asking for like whatever comes at him. Oh,
結果
exactly.
そいつは自分から他校に転入希望したばかりか、三崎町からも逃げ出しちまった。青崎も1ヶ月ばかり
That's for sure. He just left.
世に言う血の公会堂事件だ。詳しく知りたけりゃ本人はまずいな。新聞部にでも行け。あそこの部長は命知らずだ
Okay,
から。
newspaper editor likes to gossip. Okay, maybe we might meet them.
飛び丸、その具体的な表現を恋に避けてないか？
仕方ねえだろ。理事長の息子だろうがなんだろうが、怖いものは怖えし、高校ぐらいは無事卒業してかねえとな。
He said, "Yo, I'm keeping my mouth shut, man."
うちの女子の制服見るたびに規制を上げるトラウマなんて持ちたくねえよ。
Sojiro tilted his head to the side in confusion. Tobimaru had lost him with that comment.
ああ、いい。それより、なんで青崎なんかがいいんだよ。そう。
He took his head again, this time to the other side.
おい、お前、本当に青崎が好きなのか？
I mean, never said he was, but
単に胸がドキドキ言ってるだけなら、それは恋じゃなくて恐怖だってオチもあるぜ。
but his heart's going doki
いくら
doki.
そんな
Like
時がぼんやりでも理由ってもんがあるだろう。
he tilted his head even further. What Tobimaru was saying sounded off, but Sojiro decided not to press the matter. All the more because he found many of his own emotions towards Aoko Aozaki to be incomprehensible.
そうだな、おかしい。俺はあまり
Oh,
彼
so
女を
okay,
知ら
so
ない
he's
んだ。
crushing on her, okay. Or he feels some connection. That's because they had not truly spoken to each other since the day she showed him around. Every time Sojiro tried to talk to her, she immediately got up and left. As fate would have it, fate, they ended up working together that recent Sunday, but made only idle chatter on the way and back. Yeah, only small
けど
talk.
飛び丸、君は知らないだけなんだ。
Hmm.
時々なんだが、誰かの視線を感じて振り返ってみると、いつ失敗するかを心配して見ている人がいる。飛び丸の言う通り、ただ廊下で俺を見かけて、単に監視していただけなのかもしれない。本当は俺のことなんて気にせず素通りしたいのかもしれない。けど、どんな種類であれ、彼女の心配は本物だ。
I agree.
それに、ここが一番大事だと思うんだけど、実際の話、青崎のそういうところのおかげで、俺は助かっていたりするんだ。
You know, Sojiro, I like that. His tone was measured and sincere. Tobimaru sighed with a tinge of regret. If not for those words, he could have introduced Sojiro to a more suitable girl with whom he could have lived out the rest of his high school days in peace. He never went to such a length for his other friends. Generally speaking, if it was some benefit to him, he was unafraid to exploit another. If they were no use, then he didn't bother getting involved with them. That was how Tobimaru Tsukihime operated. Sojiro happened to be the type of person who provided no benefit to Tobimaru, yet somehow sparked in him a desire to help. Is that earnest nature he has? Earnest personality? It was not that friendship was completely alien to him. He just did not have many people he felt that close to. So if Sojiro had already fallen for Aoko, it was not his place, as a friend, to try to change his mind.
やれやれ。結局、惚れてるやつには理由なんていらねえんだな。
そんなことはない。理由なら一つある。彼女を一目見たときに、綺麗だなって思ったぞ。
Oh, okay.
ん？
Tobimaru's shoulders slumped.
なんだ？あんだけ恥ずかしいセリフ言っといて、要は外見に惚れてますな。
綺麗なものに見とれるのはいいことじゃないのか？自分を綺麗に見せる努力をしているんだから、外見から内面を判断するのはそんなおかしな話
He's
じゃない
not wrong with that, but you know, I think there's more stuff involved there, you know. That sounded like a sophism to Tobimaru, but he had no counterpoint to offer.
しょうがねえ。わかったよ。この話はもうやめよう。
I guess that's true at the end of the day.
誰をてめえの女にするか。
Whether Sojiro decides to make a move, get rejected, or accepted, you know, I guess he'll deal with it. Now, about the one major thing that Tobimaru had been mistaken about this whole conversation. Namely that Sojiro was not head over heels in love with Aoko and hoped to go steady with her. He merely liked her as a person. I had a feeling that was the case, but when as they conversed, I was like, oh, does he actually like love her? But okay. Nobody could have foreseen the massive calamity that would be caused by the simple misunderstanding. Oh boy. What will happen down the line?
一つだけ忠告しておくぜ、宗次郎。青崎は喧嘩をした相手だろうと、別に嫌うわけじゃない。
That's true.
逆に言えば、親切にしたって別に好かれるわけでもない。
You can say that about people IRL too.
いい例が
Man. He spoke with a pained sigh, as if opening old wounds from the past. Huh.
詳しく。
Yeah, what happened with you, man? What happened when you were nice to someone and...
昔な
Or even... Oh,
あいつ
so
があん
Aoka,
まり
okay.
に独善的だったんでつい手を挙げかけちまったことがある
Oh!
半年前の夏だ1年もあいつと生徒会やってたもんだから俺も女っつうより戦友って気になっててな
Okay.
つい勢いで平手打ちをしようと右手を上げた我ながら4番バッターも各やという腰のひねり
Tobimaru
実感とともに俺は勝利を確信したんだ
made a terrible mistake. He had a distant look in his eyes, as if his words trailed off.
翌日になってこりゃ完全に敵扱いされたなと
Oh!
覚悟して生徒会室に行ってみりゃで以来あいつと俺は
Really?
会長と副会長で収まってる
Sojiro sighed at his story. He was like, dang, I expected a bit more action in that story. Like, he then said, with absolute
今
confidence,
の話を総合すると君は単にのろけたいのか
Sojiro, you don't change, man. I like that. Clearly he had missed the point entirely.
なわけあるか今の話のどこに甘酸っぱい要素があんだよ俺としちゃあいつを女として見なくなった決定的な事件だったんだがね
なんだ違うの
By a margin. A look of disappointment flittered across Sojiro's face. Tobimaru revised his opinions of him. Sojiro was something of a simpleton, but there was something more about him that Tobimaru could not quite place.
とにかくだ俺が言いたいのは青崎青子の好き嫌いの基準ってのは普通じゃないってことだいいことをすれば好かれる気に入らないことをすれば嫌われるってわけじゃねえんだよ
Sojiro answered that he would keep it in mind as he looked to the clock. They had been talking for a while, and lunch was almost over.
もう君からの話はないか
あ初めからねそんなの
Man. Why had Tobimaru even brought him here in the first place? Sojiro tilted his head and wondered, but shook it off to deal with the more pressing matters at hand. Yo, Tobimaru over here just being a nice dude. Okay, Tobimaru is cool. Tobimaru is cool.
よしじゃあもう少し付き合ってくれ飛び前に聞きたいことがあったんだ
And what's that? With the house in the mountain? Tobimaru sat up straight, having never seen Sojiro's face look so serious before. Sojiro set aside his rice ball and cleared his throat.
実は昨日こんなことがあって
Oh yeah, what happened yesterday? It almost made me forget about that. He spoke solemnly, and as carefully as possible, he recounted what had occurred the night before. Ooh. Okay. Let's go back in time. Back in time.
しずきくんいる？
Bop. It is 10 to 12, and lunchtime was quickly coming to an end. Her face stopped into Class C, as lively as ever, as if it were an everyday occurrence. Aoko Aozaki announced her presence. While Aoko wasn't part of Class C, she didn't let it bother her as she casually entered the classroom. I mean, who's going to stop her? In contrast, the baby birds who had been so noisily chirping while eating lunch quickly quieted and began to rearrange their seats. Man, she shows up, she takes over the class.
どういう意味よそれ
She bristled internally before looking around the room. She could not see the male student she had come to find. He hardly stood out, so she had thought he might be hidden in a corner somewhere, but that appeared to not be the case.
有里くん出席番号12番のしずきくんは
Arisato. Aoko kept her tone professional.
俺
With His Highness Tobimaru. I can't with that. The princess, the highness. The boy was shocked that she actually knew his name. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, she called him by his actual name. One might think that the reason students referred to Tobimaru Tsukihime by the royal title was because he was the chairman's son, but it was because he actually acted like royalty. In fact, the vice president was said to have taken a liking to the title. Of course.
飛び丸があいつしずきくんと仲いいの？
I think they're friends. I'll say they're friends. She seemed surprised. The class seemed surprised at her surprise.
いいも悪いも築地くんが男子と仲良く話してるのって今まで見たことなかった
That's true.
私たち。
Like he's saying, hey, I'll only be nice with you if I want to use you, or you have some benefit to me.
あ、木の実くんはバカだから別だけど。
That's true.
そうだよな。初めは殿下もあんまり話してなかったけど、3日もしたら楽しそうに口喧嘩してたもんな。
ま、しずき相手に突っ張っても仕方ないじゃん。あいつ変だけどいいやつだし。
そうよね。いい人だもんね。
I was like, yo, Soichiro cool, man. He's nice. He's chill. Having recomposed themselves, classy started chatting again. Ako listened for a bit before turning around and leaving the class with a later. I wonder what she had to talk to him about. All the Soichiro talk finished as quickly as it started. Lunchtime was coming to a close in the student council room. Soichiro, having told the story, was smiling in satisfaction. Tobimaru, still sitting across from him, was frowning.
さあ、感想を聞かせてくれ。
Soichiro told his yarn as best as he could. Tobimaru fingered his brow as if he was angry or concerned.
なあ、そうのじ。お前、人をバカにできるほど器用なやつじゃねえよな。
失礼な。器用な方だぞ俺は。
His response only confirmed Tobimaru's suspicion. It had to be one of two possible conclusions. That what Soichiro had just told him was true, or that Soichiro was so tired that he must have been hallucinating at the time. Tobimaru sincerely hoped it was the latter.
宗十郎、率直に言って俺はお前が気に入っている。嘘のない人間なんてのは人間じゃねえ。俺は人間嫌いだからそんなお前さんが気に入ってたりするんだが、そんなやつまで馬鹿げたことを言い出したら俺は明日から何を頼りに昼飯を食えばいいんだ。
学食で食べればいいんじゃないか？
Hearing his suggestion, Tobimaru's face darkened.
わかった。はっきり言おう。それは幻覚だ。幽霊の
You must have seen some magic or something. Or a ghost?
それでも納得いかないってんなら、いい精神科を紹介してやる。
それが君の感想か。よし、ならいいんだ。
He just wanted his opinion. As bitter as Tobimaru's words might have sounded to most, Soichiro swallowed them whole.
そりゃ俺だって神隠しの類だと思ったよ。
A tall tale to me too.
けど都会じゃもしかしてそれもありなのかもしれないだろ。確かめたかったのはそこなんだ。
Satisfied, Soichiro finished off his last rice ball and neatly folded the cloth.
おい、すると何か？お前は都会の人間は口から火を吹いたり、腕が伸びたりするのが普通だと思ったのか？
What?
まあ普通じゃない。
One Piece reference?
特別でもないんじゃないかと思
Sticks send their arms out of rubber. Well, not normally, but as much with it, huh?
ここは山にないものが溢れている。何でもありの場所だ。だからそれぐら
I
いやって
mean,
のける人だって
in Soichiro's defense, I wouldn't knock it out of the ballpark, man. That his face was. Oh wait, what did it say? That his face was as serious as it made Tobimaru realize just how big a culture shock Soichiro must have been experiencing. Living up in the mountains with no electricity, in a place where the night sky was as it always had been, where humans were just one organism in nature's garden, it makes sense that those conditions would create a boy like him. Exactly, a fish out of water. The idea of children growing up so pure was an appealing one, but maybe it was natural to forego a civilization where your population was so small. Or perhaps it was so simple in a world that excessive knowledge was deemed irrelevant. It was precisely because city life offered him so much that it was impossible up till now that he had come to the conclusion that anything was possible here.
安心しろ。確かにこっちにはタチの悪い奴らばっかりだけどな。
そうだといいんだけど。
But Sojiro seemed unsure. And on Tobimaru's part, there were things to Sojiro's story that he found hard to swallow. Whether true or not, this incident Sojiro had described was disturbing.
まあ、事の真偽というか、どんな間違いでそう見えたかは置いておいてだ。結果だけ見れば、うちの生徒が夜の公園で人を殺したってことになる。しかも双方控えめに表現しても普通じゃねえ。
Interesting. As a newcomer to town, Sojiro assumed that everyone his age was a student at the school. For better or worse, he was right.
一人は火炎放射器を持って、もう一人は、まあなんだ。
Naginata.
なぎなたでも持ち出したのか、刃物らしきものが何メートルも伸びたときた。
Huh. Sojiro bobbed his head up and down as he listened to the disbelief in Tobimaru's voice. Hearing it repeated by someone else, he could see how someone might think he was taking them for a ride.
尋常じゃないぞその話。
宗十郎、お前、実は俺をからかってんだろ。
いや、全く。けどまあ、都会にはそんな人間はいないんだろ。
Well, someone in the country then.
なら飛び丸の言う通り、夢でも見てたんだ。ここのところアルバイトと試験が重なって辛くて。
But that's a pretty detailed hallucination. Winter break was just around the corner, and the end of the term exams were but a week away. Both were proving formidable opponents for Sojiro.
俺は基本ができてないから、人の倍程度の勉強じゃ追いつけない。ほら、勉強ばかりしているとノイローゼをするんだろ。
そりゃするんじゃなくてなるものだが、まあ、何にせよ、やりすぎ飲みすぎはよくねえわな。試験前ぐらいはバイト減らしたらどうだ？
Okay.
減らしてはいるんだけどね。年末ってアルバイトを休む人も多くて、その代行も
He's making that money. It's true. People go on vacations and stuff. He shrugged helplessly. Family visiting, you want to take off? It was obvious from his words that he had been busy. Even if he was not going crazy, lack of sleep could have caused him to daydream. Even if this all did go down in the middle of the night.
なんだか大変そうだな、宗十郎。
ああ、実はかなり参ってる。
Sojiro nodded with a pained look on his face. What was strange, however, was that he did not look the least bit tired.
泣き言言わねえのは感心するけどな。お前、新郎は顔に出ないたちか？
そりゃ、新郎はどこも痛まないからね。
Huh, that's a good response. As he continued, Sojiro looked up at the clock on the wall. Lunchtime was almost over.
飛び丸、時間だ。
ああ、もうそんなに経ったか。気にせず先に行ってていいぜ。
Someone trying to call me just now? Oh man. Okay, Sojiro watched as Tobimaru made a gesture that seemed to lament the life of a student council member. His eyes looked as if they were trying to piece an art and not understanding its value.
授業をサボれる身分っていうのは羨ましいな。そういうの、飛び丸が嫌いな手抜きじゃないのか？
そりゃ誤解も甚だしい。俺の欠席は手抜きじゃねえ。特権ってやつだと言ったろ。
The vice president angrily defended himself as he stood up. The transfer student merely gazed at him, unfazed.
おいおい、あれだけ説明したのに全然分かってなかったのか？しょうがねえ。まず座れ。いいか、その字。常人を上回る英気と幸運を兼ね備えながら、座することなく精進してきた俺でも、ここを卒業しちまえば裸一貫になっちまうんだぞ。ひでえ話だ。てめえの家柄を活用できんのはあと1年ちょいだけなんだぜ。これの一体どこが羨ましいってんだ。普通一生続くはずの 親の七光ってやつが俺の場合はたった3年間しかねえんだからな。となりゃ有効なうちに使っておかなきゃもったいなくておちおち眠ってもいられねえ。ああ、嫌だ嫌だ。何が嫌かってバカどもとガン首並べて金勘定するのが嫌だ。たく嫉妬渦巻く大人の世界じゃ俺のオブラートみたいな心なんてパックリ飲まれて溶けちまうこと受け合いだろうさ。
While he must have been joking, Sojiro took his tone to be completely sincere. He listened as he envied Tobimaru's ability to be so open about his feelings. From his frame to reference, there was nothing he could do but take Tobimaru for his word. When?
あら、そんな権利なんて留年すればいくらでも引き延ばせるのに。
Yep,
なん
because
なら協力してあげましょ
Alco
う
is
か。
looking for him.
この
The doors to the student council room flew open, washing away Sojiro's half-hearted responses to his friend. This frosty statement destroyed the warm atmosphere in the room. And it also marked the abrupt end to Tobimaru Tsukichi's reign there.
いや、いい。自分の夢は自分の力だけで叶えようと常々思ってるんだ。
そうなら今みたいな恥ずかしいこと力説しないでね。廊下にまで聞こえてたわよ。
Not missing a beat, Aoko Aozaki stepped inside the room. Her dark hair was slightly disheveled as she had been running. Her gaze missed the sitting, Sojiro entirely, and was focused completely on the reigning vice president.
頑張れ、飛び丸。
Sojiro quietly got up from his seat, got up to head back to his classroom.
割と白状なんだ。
That's messed
お前っ
up.
て
Tobimaru grumbled in front of Aoko.
だって時間がない。
だからそういうのが白状とだな。
He cut himself off. Aoko briefly shifted her gaze to Sojiro.
時間がないのは私も同じよ。あなたにはいつも振り回される。
Not a complaint, but it was her honest opinion.
なんだ要件はそう
What mess did he make? What happened?
安心なさい。あなたにもあるから。
Her eyes shimmered with a murderous glee. It was slightly different from the more sullen gaze to which Tobimaru had grown accustomed. For whatever reason, Aoko's mood seemed worse than usual.
しずきくん、あなた、走るのと泳ぐの、どっちが好き？
Oh man, we have to make him do laps? Well, you can't do laps in the water. It's winter. That's torture. That's bad. That's vile. Aoko asked abruptly. Sojiro frowned a little before saying he was fine with either one.
ダメよ。一つにして。
泳ぐ方かな。けど、ど
Oh
うして
boy.
あなたがまだどこの部にも所属してないから。
A succinct reply. Oh, so you have to join the club at the school? That's actually kind of nice. But I like being part of the go home club though. Hey, can I join the student council? Oh man, one that left no room for Sojiro to object.
うちの校則読んだわよね。
Oh,
生徒
students
は
in
ただ
must.
一人の例
Wow.
外もなく、部活動に参加しなくて
It's
はな
like,
ら
dang,
ない。
I'm too busy with work though.
正直どうかと思う校則だけど、決まりは決まりだ
I
から。
guess so.
そんな無茶な。悪いけど、そこまでの暇はないんだ。
でしょうね。
An equally terse response. She was typically to the point, but Tobimaru got the impression that she was expressly trying to keep her interaction with Sojiro short. Like, okay, so they stared at each other in silence. Tobimaru stood breathlessly silent on the sidelines until Sojiro broke the impasse.
青
Impasse.
崎は分かってると思ってた。
Oh.
あ、いや違う。うん。だから、そこが強いんだろうね。
Yo, Sojiro, man, what's this response? Sojiro stood up from his seat. He walked past Aoko and into the hallway.
それ、明日からでいいんだろ？
しずきくんがいいならね。
Oh. As he did his best to force a smile before leaving the student council room. Oh. Oh. A little bitter interaction in the end there. Okay. While watching the events play out, Tobimaro found himself deeply impressed with Sojiro. He could tell from Aoko's behavior that she was trying to get a rise out of Sojiro. Sojiro, on the other hand, was none the wiser to what Aoko was doing, so he simply went about his way. To Tobimaro, it was hard to believe that Sojiro had not taken offense. All he observed was... Oh, no, stop. No, stop. Oh, no! Go! What's that thing on the top? What's that fast forward button?
何が強いんだろうな、会長。
Okay, I thought it was like an autoplay thing. All he observed was the performance of a life in a lifetime in Sojiro as he maintained a poker face. Huh. He looked at Aoko curiously. Aoko stood completely still, staring at a wall. Man, she looked mad as heck right now. Oh, I keep doing that. No, there we go. Aoko showed no response.
おい、会長。青崎。青子女子。おい、聞いてんのかよ、青崎青子。
さいはね、青を呼ぶな。
Her fury echoed across the student council room. It was a beautiful sound that could be heard into the hallway and made Tobimaro rant from earlier pale in comparison.
やかましい。うるせえのはてめえも同じだ。
Perhaps their shouting was still ringing to his ears, or he was just the type to answer a shout with a shout, but he shot back reflexively.
そんなんだから男の一人もできねえんだよ、お前は。ほら、目覚めたか？
Oh boy, Tobimaro.
別にあなたの声は聞こえてた。煩わしかったから無視してただけよ。黙らせるの面倒だし。
てめえな、俺はカカなんかか、おい。
She about to say, yeah?
コミュニケーションが成立しない点で言
Oh,
え
dang!
ば、あっちのがまだ上品よね。
ほう、その心は？
Dang, she's saying you're less than a mosquito.
お互い何を言ってるかわからない。意味のない会話なら、仰せみたいなものでしょ。
Based on that statement, Aoko must have been under the assumption that dating is the act of two lovers whispering nonsense to each other.
問題は、お前にとって意味のある会話ってのがどの程度の価値かってことだが。まあいいか。いつになくきついじゃねえか、青崎。
ちょっとね。今愛嬌を振りまける状況じゃないのよ。
不思議だ。この2年間で青崎の愛嬌なんてものは見たことがないんだが。
飛び丸のいない時に振りまいてたの。
そうかよ。やっぱりあの時のこと恨んでるんだろう。
Oh, say, hey, you still holding a grudge from back then? There's only one thing that Tobimaro could be talking about. This is that occurred in the student council this past summer.
ずいぶんと昔の話じゃない。
She was like, dang, you're still thinking about that, man?
そんなどうでもいいことに容量を使っちゃもったいないわよ。ただでさえ脳の覚醒部分が少ないのに。
As the conversation wore on, Aoko's murderous aura began to fade, and her sharp gaze gave way to a calmer demeanor rarely seen from her. It was quite possible that nobody besides Tobimaro had ever seen this side of her at school before.
ご忠告どうも。俺だってあんなことは忘れてる。
Thanks for concern. Psych! Oh, man.
ただ、さっきその字がバカなこと言いやがるから、つい思い出しちまったんだよ。
No, I'm in this room too, huh?
考えてみりゃ場所まで一緒じゃねえか。
Despite his ranting, his face betrayed a touch of nostalgia. Aoko, on the other hand, was scowling.
ちょっと待って。あの話、彼にしたの？
Tobimaro. I'm worried about you,
俺
man.
がてめえ。
It's like 1 second, I'm like, okay, he's in the clear. Then it's like, oh no, he's about to get beat up.
あんたは副会長って顔でしょ。どう見ても。
Or chewed out,
で
like.
挑発されて生涯最高の月をしたところまでな。
Aoko let out a sigh, as if relieved that Tobimaro had not told Sojiro the rest of the story. Even she wasn't sure why.
あれは確かにびっくりするぐらい。
Wait, what else happened in that story?
思わず体が反応しちゃったものね。ところで、私そんなこと言ったっけ？
Huh. Wait. Oh, okay.
言った。しかも俺が保健室に運ばれたのをこれ幸いと強引に副会長にしやがった。
Since that day, Tomimura had served as a vice president to the person who usurped the whole role from him.
いいけどな。俺に会長職合わねえって分かったし、副会長の方が性に合ってやがる。会長なんてやってたら、危うく親父みたいな野郎になってた。
So something right there, he doesn't want to be like that? Okay.
プライド高い分、できることは全部やるからね、飛び丸は。会長職に先進するあまり、気がついたら優等生になってたあんたも見たかったけど。
やめてくれ、ゾッとしね。猫かぶるのは
So he's not
お前
an
だけで
artist?
十分だ。
Everyone wolf and she's clothing around here is bad enough. Huh. Tomimura shooed Aoko away like an annoying pest. It was a typical example of the crude verbal abuse they exchanged on a daily basis. With a wittiness that only two longtime foes could manage.
で、なんでそんな話したのよ。
は？
半年前の。
You about to gaslight
なんで
them?
彼に話したのよ。
まあそっちか。いや、あいつがバカなこと口走ったからなんだが。
He stopped himself before he said any more. Man, Tomimura, man, you just be talking, man. He knew better than to let slip the fact that Sojiro had a thing for Aoko. Everyone knew guys didn't sell each other out like that. Even if it was all, in truth, a misunderstanding. He said, nah, I got back with the homie, bro code.
ないんじゃねえのか、青崎。お前、宗十郎に恨みでもあんの
7日以上前の恨みを引きずるほど、私はお姫様じゃないつもりだけど。
He wanted to retort that she was more than like a queen than a princess. But he had come to know her too well the past 2 years to dig himself into a hole like that.
恨みはないね。それにしちゃ、恋に喧嘩売ってただろ。確かに調子の狂うやつだが、あいつほどいいやつはいねえだろうに。おい待て。
Yeah, what?
足元の
Yo, these expressions.
のような態度は。
別にあんたまでそのセリフを言うのかって心底から見下げ果てただけよ。まあいっか。いいやつ、いい人、結構じゃない？喧嘩を売る相手としちゃ上等だわ。
She said casually, having regained her composure.
しないとねって。
She can't help but mess with Sojiro. Tomimura could not follow her reasoning at all. Tomimura was used to Aoko's erratic trains of thought, but hating Sojiro for no reason seemed needlessly cruel. His friend's naive and innocent face came to mind, and then he blurted.
けど、宗十郎は青崎が好きなんだぜ。それでも嫌いなのか？
Oh, Tomimura, you're about to start a big misunderstanding. Oh boy. His silence had not lasted even 2 minutes. Yeah, Tomimura, man, why do you expose him like that, even though that's not true?
いや、今のはな、青崎。
He tried to take it back, but it was too late. Yeah, man, once you say that, you can't go back. She had heard his words loud and clear. All you could hope for now was that she would take it well.
そりゃそうでしょう。好き嫌いは誰にもあるし。けどこればかりはね、彼が私と仲良くしたいって言っても、私は嫌いなんだから仕方ない。
Stone cold Aoko. Tomimura found himself filled with indignation at how detached Aoko was being.
いや、そんなお友達感覚の話じゃなくてだな。そういう好き嫌いじゃなくて、その字は本気でお前に惚れてるって言ったんだよ。
He shouted, his face and the embodiment of sincerity. Aoko gave him a blank stare. It was the face of someone who had lost their wallet hours earlier and was only realizing it now. The first instant of doubt was that ushers in the reality of the situation. But an instant was all it was.
Ne?
She answered coolly. As if she had no idea why it should matter to her at all. But it does matter a little bit.
出ときたか。鬼でもなけりゃ悪魔だな。お前って女は。
Tomomaru gave up any pretenses of masculine solidarity and fired back hard.
いいわよそんなの。つまらないもの。
Really? She ruthlessly cut him off. Thinking of the boys who had still harbored the unrequited love for Aoko, Tomomaru tried hard to come up with a name befitting the demoness in front of him.
なるほどね。それでさっきの話に結びつくわけだ。
Yeah, she's like, okay, I'll connect the dots then now.
へえ。柄にもなく友達思いじゃな
Yo,
い
that smuggish face right there.
ってことは、聞くも無罪、語るも無情っていう私の噂話、教えてあげたんでしょ
She laughed as a fiendish smile. She laughed as a fiendish smile adorned her face. Tomomaru repented to God, whoever and wherever he or she might be, for ever bringing up Aoko's love life.
飛び丸にしちゃ正しい判断ね。褒めてあげるから、どんな話をしたのか聞きたいな、私。
Oh, it's a helicopter. She was smiling, but Tomomaru wished she'd at least try to hide the bloodlust.
代表作とここでの事件を2つばかり。
Ako nodded with satisfaction as she listened to Tobimaru's hesitant answer.
こういう時、噂話って便利よね。うるさいのを追っ払ってくれるから。でも、そんな
It's true
話を
that
考
could
え
be
なしで
that
広
could
め
be used
た
to
ら
your
大変だ
benefit,
から
you know.
これからは気をつけてね。
There we go. Had this been in writing, the chillingly sweet tone of her words could have been sighed with a heart. Whether angry or happy, Aozaki spoke with a disturbingly cute manner when she was in a heightened emotional state. Tomomaru took note of this new discovery, aware that it did nothing to get him out of this situation. I want some ice cream after this, man.
口はもう滑らねえよ。けど、青崎。本気で宗十郎が嫌いなのか?
I don't think she hated Sojiro. He knew. Oh, maybe. He knew that it was a topic he would be better off avoiding, but he tried asking anyway. The bonds between men, at times, shine more beautifully than a pearl.
まあ、好きじゃないから嫌いっていうわけじゃないけど、私が彼のことを嫌う理由は自分でもわからない。だから
Interesting.
ダメなのね、きっと。
Perhaps to placate Tobimaru, Aoko paused in contemplation before she answered. Giving it a moment without immediately blurting out a response meant that not even he could complain.
そうか。まあ、そういうことならしょうがねえか。何しろ、綺麗さっぱり感情論だ。お互い理由もなく好きと嫌いじゃ、手を貸す隙間もねえわけだし。
Thinking that would be the end of it, Tobimaru looked toward the ceiling and silently apologized to Sojiro. However, his final sentence appeared to have piqued Aoko's interest.
待って。今の、どういう意味？
Yeah, wait, what was this last sentence? Oh boy. Her fox cheered had vanished. Failing to pick up on this, Tobimaru answered nonchalantly.
いや、あいつもさ、青崎に惚れた理由がわからないなんて言いやがってよ。ああ、違ったか。理由なんてないなんて意味だったかな。
Tobimaru was still disbelieved that Sojiro had been charmed by Aoko's appearance, so he purposely left that part out. Yep.
理由はないですって。
she's like, I feel insulted. No reason.
ああ、なんで。俺がいくらお前の噂話をしても無駄だった。天津さえなんて言ってたかな。あ、そうそう。理由はどうあれ、青崎の心配は本物なんだって。自分は
This is mushy love right here.
俺なんかには言えないセリフだったのは確かだね。はっきりしてんのは他の野郎どもと違って
They really didn't. He kept that usual Sojiro face. Tobimaro finally noticed the shift in Aoko's demeanor. She was scowling at the wall. She glared at it in silence, like it was like her worst enemy, and this continued for 7.
何それ？さっきといいそれといい、どこかで聞いたようなことばっかり。
Oh man, this is making her think about the previous student council president. So great was her ire that the gnashing of her teeth was audible. The irritation seethed until it reached the point that Aoko forgot Tobimaro was in the room. Tobimaro looked heavenward for forgiveness, sensing that he'd brought further calamity down upon Sojiro's head.
少しわかったわ。なんであいつが気に食わないのか。
Tobimaro looked away as if to indicate that he'd rather not know, but Aoko ignored him and began to grumble venomously.
あいつ、私が嫌いなやつと言動が似てるの。誰彼構わずいい人扱いされるところとか、妙にふわふわしてるところとか、いちいち私の勘に触るところとか。
Glancing idly at the clock, Tobimaro thought that last part sounded like misplaced anger. And that was that. 1 o'clock had come and gone. Tobimaro, you shouldn't have said anything else. This dude Tobimaro just stay talking. Creating a bigger misunderstanding. Oh, that's true. She did say that she needed him for something.
授業ってなんで？いつ？
いや、さっきその字が出てってから、青崎がギラーンって壁にらんでた時にチャイムが鳴ったんだよ。
Oh boy.
いいのか、生徒会長。5次元目ばっくれて。
いいわけないでしょ。なんで黙ってんのよ、あんたは。
She looked like she was on the verge of tears as she shouted and pulled at his necktie. Tobimaro raised his hands in mock surrender, a gesture reserved only for the true victor. Dang, okay. Tobimaro said, I won't forget about that statement.
相変わらず細かく根に持つ男。言動には言動で返しなさいよね、卑怯者。
She tightened the necktie around his neck and with a yank. The vice president smiled, a thuckish grin, as if her reaction made his victory that much sweeter.
お前の古典が破滅に向かっているのは周知の事実。そして A 組の5次元目は言うまでもない。藤代のばあさん。
Oh man, dang. I was hoping it was that other teacher, but man, unlucky. Fugashira had one of the toughest lecturers at school. Longest tenures at the school. So it was only natural she would be in charge of teaching the classics. Yeah.
さあ、こんなところで俺のネクタイを引っ張る余裕があるのなら、急いで自分の教室に立ち返るがいい。情けだ。別に止めはしねえよ。
くそ、あんたなんかにはめられるなんて。
Of all people, yep. She choked him even harder with his necktie. As Aoko put words into action and mercilessly strangled Tobimaro, he saw his life flash before his eyes. He said, the victory at what cost? Like, seriously.
待て待て、本当に死んじまうだろうが。今ならまだ間に合う。10分過ぎたら遅刻から欠席扱いだぞ。
Oh man, Tobimaro, you are not about to get the last laugh. Aoko glanced up at the clock. It was still only 7 past 1. Her route from the student council room on the 2nd floor to Class A room on the 3rd floor. If she ran, she could make it.
命拾ったわね、飛び丸。
Man, Tobimaro, you're lucky it was not 3 minutes did not pass. It was not 10 past 1. Aoko clicked her tongue disappointedly. What disturbed Tobimaro was that it didn't sound like an empty threat.
あと放課後、ここにいて。頼みたいことがあるのは本当なんだから。
Oh, there's something important. Okay. She was halfway out of the room before she even finished her sentence. Something important. Finally, all alone, Tobimaro closed the open door, locked it, and slumped into a chair.
たく、 ああしてる分には楽しいやつなんだけどよ。
That is true,
青崎
man.
は
He leaned back in the creaky folding chair and let out a sigh. The weather outside was beautiful. Ooh, nice weather. But the sunlight waned early into the winter. Before long, daylight would fade, and the unheated student council room would grow colder and colder. All the good equipment, like the heater, had ended up in the main office, so he had no choice but to settle in for a chilly afternoon.
こんな天気が続けばいいんだがね。天気予報じゃまた雲行き怪しいって話だが。
After his somewhat suggestive monologue, Tobimaru's mind drifted. He idly wondered to himself whether Soichiro was an overcast day or a clearest day sort of guy, but no answers came. The United Nations? Like, okay. The school day over, Soichiro headed straight to his job. While the school day had approved his jobs at the Chinese restaurant and fish market at Misaki's shopping district, there was other work he hadn't mentioned to them, of course. It was not because he knew that they would complain at him working too many, but rather because the illicit nature of one job in particular. Oh. What's that? Today his workplace was a pachinko labor parlor in front of Yoshirogi Station. Soichiro changed out of his school uniform into a black fox tuxedo uniform and began cleaning the storefront. Okay, Soichiro, let me see you in this outfit. Yoshirogi was the jewel of Misaki City, a busy place with a vast assortment of commercial centers and shopping arcades. Where there were people in mass, there were products made in mass. A romantic might describe it as a place of joy. A realist would know a free enterprise. A cynic would point at all the garbage. Local authorities had attempted to beautify Yoshirogi, but there was one basic tenet of society they could not overcome. This establishment was the embodiment of that rule. Businesses such as this attracted the dregs of society, and as such, the front of the parlor had to be cleaned several times a day. Soichiro stood outside in the winter cold, sweeping used-up cigarette butts, picking up discarded flyers, and tossing empty cans into the trash. Okay, so he was just cleaning up a mess. Something about it must have reminded him of the mountain life, because he cheerfully finished the job with ease. Just manual labor, you know? Just cleaning, but still, you know. After making sure the storefront was acceptably clean, he returned to the inside of the parlor where it was nice and warm. Blinding lights, deafening sounds, and the oppressive odor of tobacco assaulted him as he passed through the parlor on his way to the office.
店長、外回りの掃除終わりました。
Oh, good job, Soichiro.
はい、ご苦労様。
Okay, his voice wasn't what I expected it to be.
2階の40番台のお客さんの様子見てきてくれない？
Huh.
どうも懐に飲んでそうなんだよね。
She might be cheating. Oh, we got a cheater in here. His boss was a good-natured man who used to work a desk job. The reason he employed someone like Soichiro, even though he was clearly a student, was not because he admired him for working his way through school. It was because all the other employees were scary and intimidating, and he wanted at least one employee who was not.
いいんですか？
Oh man.
トイレの掃除まだですけど。
Ugh. I'd never do that. Heck no. I don't care what I'm getting paid. I might. I take that back. How much am I getting paid now?
いいのいいの。なんかね。
1K an hour? Like,
カメラの近くにいるんでいまいち隠せ
I ain't doing that for anything less.
そうちゃ
100%.
ん、今のところ的中率 100% でしょ。様子見てきてくれないかな。
Hearing that, Soichiro put away his cleaning equipment and headed upstairs. It was a typically large-scale pachinko parlor with 2 floors. Man. It prided itself in being a local establishment that was satisfied with taking the locals' money little by little without resorting to more exploitative means. But regardless of the parlor's intentions, its customers were not so scrupulous. Among them were casual players, professional gamblers, and cheaters looking to profit by exploiting whatever loopholes they could find. A particular prevalence was a device developed in the mid-80s that could disrupt the machine's circuitry from the outside and make it much easier to get what was called a 777 jackpot. As much as the parlor wanted to deny these cheaters entry, it needed to present hard evidence of cheating, or risk losing customers, particularly in the service industry. Innocence until proven guilty was not a rule taken lightly. As a result, they could only punish customers they caught in the act. Such cheaters were known as gotoshi, a slice of society which Sojiro knew nothing about. Wait, are we about to see that other girl pop up that we saw last time? What's her name? Ritsuka Suse? Did we get her name last time? I think she gave him a different name last time, if I'm not mistaken. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters we haven't met yet. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Do a quick save just in case. Such cheaters were known as Gotoshi, a select society with Sojiro knew nothing about. Yep. What he did know was that they were inconveniencing his employer and violating their rules. He went upstairs. The radio and game machine sounds on the second floor were quieter than the cacophony downstairs. There were 100 game machines on the ground floor and over 80 on the second floor. While there were some empty seats here and there, it was a solid evening turnout. The machine mentioned by his boss was the center aisle. Okay. Sojiro nonchalantly leaned back against the wall and watched the customer hit the jackpot over and over again. Who's this? The second he saw her, his gut told him she was not cheating. He still was not sure what made someone a master swindler, but if it meant they were special, this woman certainly fit that description. It was almost as if she could feel the luck emanating from her. As the customers looked on, she silently turned the handle again and again. She appeared older than Sojiro. She wore a green, form-fitting one-piece dress. A pair of stockings covered her legs. Oh. Her slender legs were gracefully crossed, and her elegance suited a painting better than a casino. Oh. Her dark reddish hair was cut short in a bob, perfectly framing her stylish spectacles and crimson lips. Truth be told, something was off about this picturesque beauty, ringing the jackpot over and over again. I think I know who this is. Maybe. I could be wrong, but I'll see when they get introduced. I'll let y'all know. 4 boxes worth of Pachinko balls sat at her feet, and her winning streak showed no sign of abating. She looked bored as her slender porcelain fingers lifted a long cigarette to her lips. Just as that thought crossed his mind, her gaze turned toward the wall and Sojiro. Oh. Oh. Suddenly a chill ran down his spine. He reflexively covered his mouth to keep from shrieking. She was the woman fighting with what, a flamethrower or something, and there's also someone with like a sword. Acting in pure instinct, Sojiro took off running. Yo! He headed straight downward stairs, desperate not to be on the same floor as her. He would have run straight out the door, but for his obligations to his job. He tried to keep his composure as he spoke, jamming his school uniform into the paper bag as he ran out of the parlor. His boss like, yo, what happened? He is running! Cloudy weather brought the shadow of the night over Yashirogi as he ran through the shopping arcade toward the station. He shot up the long staircase. Is she walking after him? Staircase like an arrow, quickly pulled his train pass from his wallet and passed through the ticket gate. The ticket gate was crowded with people standing around, walking and talking. The station attendant by the automatic ticket machine had an unpleasant look on her face. There was now a familiar, comforting hustle and bustle around him. Just another day in the city. Nothing like what he witnessed the night before. Sojiro, what did you see? He could finally breathe again. The momentary rush of relief brought him to an abrupt stop. He nervously returned around. There was no way a dangerous individual could be behind him. He couldn't think of a reason for why he fled so desperately. As far as he could remember, he hadn't even seen the threat's face long enough to form an opinion about her. But yo, if your gut feel is telling you to run, hex yeah. Sojiro gave himself a good slap on the cheeks to pull himself together and quickly made his way down the platform. Unfortunately, the next train was 10 minutes away, and panicking would do him no favors. So he quietly found an empty seat and sat down. Yo, she's about to sit down next to you, man. He took another deep breath. He was surrounded by people waiting for the train just like he was, and no sign of anyone pursuing him. His head finally cleared up, and he reassured himself that he was overthinking things. Though he was surprised at how heavy his shoulders felt. Oh man. Sojiro sighed as greater than expected fatigue. He has certainly struggled since coming down from the mountains, but in retrospect, it could have been worse. Physically, he was probably holding up fine. He was much less confident in his mental state. Hold up. Remember, I remember last part too, there was a moment where, Aoko, when both of them left school, was it when they left school? I think, yeah, it was when they left school. Aoko was like, hey, did you see that lady in like a red dress in like the corner of her eye and then she disappeared? Is this the same lady? Was it a red dress or was it a red jacket? I don't remember. But, hold up. Let's just see right here. What was she wearing? How do you describe the lady? Hold up. Formerly one-piece dress, and it was red. And it was red or something. It was dark. It was dark. Darkest red hair, Babu frame, crimson lips. Interesting. Okay. See, in the mountains could not have been more different. He had been slow to recognize the differences and adapt. Acclimation was simple enough. Humans were nothing if not adaptable. Even without effort, one would learn to adjust over time. Recognizing the challenges had been the hard part. Sojiro grumbled, a complaint he never uttered before. To be honest, he was still afraid to wander around town. There were so many things people took for granted that Sojiro had yet to grasp. It was little wonder that this never-ending chain of surprises would wear on him. The hallucination, man. He muttered to himself, then shook his head. That which exists. Such was the way of all things. Tomura had called it a hallucination, but Sojiro knew what he saw was real. The city was a magical kingdom compared to the mountains. If there were real magicians secretly living here, that should have been no surprise at all. Oh, man, he is perfect for the Fate world, or this world of magic. This is. The thought alone made his legs tremble. It took him a moment longer to realize that they were quivering. They were quivering out of fear. He had feared the natural ever since he encountered a wild bear on the mountain path as a child. Okay. But this is nothing like that. Sojiro smiled a little as he recalled his traumatic childhood memory. Anyone would have fainted at the sudden appearance of a growling beast that towered over 6 feet tall. The monster in the movie that Sojiro saw not 2 days ago was the equivalent of a cuddly stuffed animal when compared to the wild mountain creatures. He was reminded that he'd faced far worse before, and his ordeal now was something he could endure.
そうだよな。今の問題は、ちらっと聞こえた最後のセリフか。
At face value, the meaning was obvious, but the implications were simply too frightening to contemplate seriously. Perhaps he had misheard the words, or perhaps the speaker had misspoke.
都会のルール。誰かがきっと罰しに来る。
Even as he said it, the idea didn't quite feel real. It was hard to imagine that it applied to him. Sojiro breathed in and closed his eyes. His vision dimmed, putting the illuminated cityscape out of sight and out of mind. For now he resolved to put last night's events behind him. When he opened his eyes, his breathing had calmed.
それでさ、青崎を殴りつけようとして、結局どうなったんだ？
Now he's thinking about it. The question suddenly popped into Sojiro's head. He decided he would ask him next time, and stood up from his chair. A long streak of light blazed by, announcing the arrival of the next train. Ooh. Wait, Knights? Wait. Oh, next episode. Yo, that was the end of this chapter? Wow. What nice, yo, this was a nice little chapter right here. The ending, yo, you can see they are slowly building up to like a bunch of events going down. But what do you have in archive? What's over here? So we saw chapter 2. Wait. This was chapter 1 stuff. This is chapter 1.5. This was chapter 2. Okay. Oh, so I guess I ended right here. since I have to do that stuff next time. Okay, well that ends this. Yo, it's getting good. It's getting good, man. It's getting good. They really are setting like the stage on like the setting and everything. I like that they do another save, but this mysterious lady that Aoko saw in first part, chapter 1 that she saw. Now Sojiro is saying that he saw some battle at night with this lady, a ghost as well. So saying that she got killed and is back alive, or she was like has a spirit thing, magic. It's something with magic, is going on there. We never got it's like they're like sprinkling things around, but we don't know what's completely going on yet. Because there's also the fact that what else is there? I'm going to say something else. Yeah, in chapter 1.5, the bonus, little extra. Well, that wasn't bonus. It's part of the story. Alice in the woods, that fighting scene. Like, what's going on there? Then we know that Alice and Aoko are also experimenting something with magic. I'm liking this. I'm liking the way that they're sprinkling things in, and then once things are explained, they'll be like, okay, I understand what they were doing there, how this connects there. I feel like eventually we're going to go back to some events and see how that connects to the present, which I like that. So yeah, anyways, thank you for those who have been tuning in for this. Whether you see this now in the present or in the future. I'm looking forward to checking out some more Watch on the Holy Night next time as we continue. That's going to be chapter 3 next time. Next episode is episode 3, I think. So, I mean, either case, it's been a long stream for me. So, an hour 45, that's not bad. It's better than last week's 4-hour stream. So, yeah. Anyways, see y'all later. Have a nice day. I have some more Fate stuff up later on this week. I still need to edit my reactions to the Heaven Feels movies. I haven't done that yet. But soon. So yeah, again, thank you for tuning in. See y'all later. Have a nice day. What ending theme shall I go with today? Nightwalker. I like Nightwalker. Oh, it's a little Christmas season, so why not go with that? Anyways, see y'all later. Have a nice night. Peace and out. How do I switch? Oh yeah. Bow.